Did you know that the average family in the Philippines makes about 160,000 pesos a year? This is the equivalent to $3,300 US. But the price of having a safe delivery in the Philippines actually requires about half of that yearly income for most Filipino families. And because of this, a lot of Filipino babies are not able to live, and they die even before the first breath that they take, just because of the dangerous living conditions that they are birthed into the world by, which can also cause lots of dangers during the pregnancy that leads to a maternal mortality death of a larger percentage than in most countries. And this is a really fixable and a really preventable thing that can be prevented through more healthcare workers, more midwives, and more doctors. Most of the Filipino Catholics have been raised into Catholicism, meaning they haven't actually heard the gospel, and they haven't actually heard that having a relationship with God is something that we were all created for. And as most of you know, I had the privilege of going on a 6-month medical mission trip with YWAM. We studied as a team of 36 in Australia for 3 months, and what that looked like was learning more about God's character and who He really is, and taking in the truth of His personality and His character, and learning how that applies to our lives, and learning how that gives us boldness in our relationships with God and others. And because of that, I really feel like I was empowered to trust God with my entire life. And I feel like I was empowered to become passionate about sharing my knowledge of the truth of who God really is with others. And in addition to that, we got to learn basic medical skills to take to the Philippines, where we would go on outreach. And in the Philippines, we learned how to set up clinics as a team, and we were based in Manila, and so we actually got to see as a team a lot of the problems that I was talking about earlier, and a lot of the struggles that families are actually birthed into and have no control over. It really opened my eyes to the need that is in the Philippines, and the need not only for physical healing and physical health care, but actually spiritual healing as well. Because although a lot of families do know about God, they don't actually know Him personally, which God gave me such a passion for as I was in the Philippines and getting to know these people. And I wanted to share the next step of my life that God is leading me into as I've come home from the Philippines. I've been accepted into a midwife school that's actually centered in Davao in the Philippines, and it's called New Life International School of Midwifery. And it's a Christian school that is nonprofit, and all the tuition that they require actually goes into supporting the clinic that they run and they train students out of. And that clinic that they support with tuition is free to all mothers. All births and all neonatal and postpartum care is all free for any mother that needs that care. And that is just, as I told you through the facts, just a mind-boggling and life-saving opportunity for these moms. So any mom that wants to come who's pregnant or about to give birth, she has a chance, without spending all of her resources, all of her family's budget, she has a chance to come into our clinic, come into the New Life Clinic, and hear about the gospel and hear about how she can care for her baby, and have a safe delivery, all free of cost. I will be serving as a missionary for 2.5 years, and I will be living in the Philippines, and not only studying but also serving as a missionary there while I'm working in the clinic and working with the people in poorer areas outside of the city on outreaches. And while I will be working while I'm here until August, when the school starts, to support my first semester of school, I'm trusting God for supporters who will come alongside me and partner with me to send me to the Philippines and support my next 4 semesters of school there. I'm trusting God for that tuition to come in so that the school that I'm a part of will be able to sponsor free births for the mothers that are coming in. thank you so much for partnering with me to send me to the Philippines as God uses me as a student midwife to impact the kingdom through providing safe health care to the families and mothers and children in Davao City. I literally cannot wait to go and cannot wait to see how God uses me and how God works miracles in this area and really just shows his character as a father and as a redeemer to these people who have never known this side of him before. I can't wait to go. Thank you again so much.